and is right for our children and grandchildren too. Let's rescue our NHS. Let's make sure it is there for our country. Together, I believe we can make change happen in our country by electing a Labour government. Thank you very much. Right, now we're going to take questions, and there are roving microphones, and I will try and keep my promise to get the microphone up to at least one of the balconies. Yeah, there's a gentleman over here, and you get to start, sir. And I particularly want to take questions from students here at the university who are studying to go into healthcare, but I'll take you, sir, too.
Yeah, my name's Alan Warren. I'm from Salford.
Hi.
My wife and I, we were in Salford Royal about 2 weeks ago on Monday. We waited 6 hours for actually A&E to actually see my wife. It's unbearable. Think that the Conservatives, David Cameron, has actually destroyed our NHS and allowed the hours that we have to wait for either an emergency or a minor emergency, no matter what it is. That is thinkable. And Ed Miliband, I would like you, as the next MP, as the Prime Minister, which you're going to be, we're going to vote you into, we're going to make sure that Labour actually votes you in, because we want someone that's going to stand up for our NHS, for our country, that we are going to have a better country through you, and certainly not through David Cameron. Okay. All that David Cameron has done has lied to us. I do not want another 5 years of the Conservative government destroying this country.
Okay, thanks very much, Alan. I think we're all going to vote for Alan after that. There's a lady in the middle. In fact, there's two ladies in the middle. If the microphone, can we just pass it along the row? Great. And then if you pass it down after you've finished, great. Hi. Hi. What's your name?
Katrina.
Katrina, hi.
Student nurse in my second year. My question is, you promised to recruit 20,000 more nurses. And I was just wondering if you're still going to protect the unsociable hours pay for nurses and also other healthcare professionals.
Okay, thanks very much, Katrina. And I'm going to take the lady two in front of you. And who else? Oh, yeah, I'm going to take Sophia. Sophie here, yeah. Yeah.
Hi again.
What's your name?
I've started Gemma Aitchison, we met.
Hi, Jessa.
I just wanted to ask, I've started university since meeting you, and one problem that I find that a lot of students face, women in particular, is childcare whilst trying to train, and whilst trying to be nurses. It's hard to be a parent and work the hours of, like the man said, 3 people.
Okay, thanks very much, Gemma. That's a really good question. And Sophie. Hi, Sophie.
Hello, we're absolutely delighted to see you here today and delighted to hear about the plans for the NHS. As you will recognise, within this building, we train not only nurses, but also many allied healthcare professionals as well. We're physiotherapists, we have speech and language therapists here. What are your plans for the recruitment and development of allied health professionals in the NHS, because obviously they make a huge contribution to rehabilitation and recovery and quality of life.
Okay, that's a good question. And then I'm going to take to the two gentlemen there, yeah, in the middle here, if you can get them a microphone. And I think, is there anyone on the balcony who wants a question? Yeah, there is. I'm wondering whether we might need a couple of hours to get the microphone up to you, but we'll do our best. I'm hoping a microphone might be wending its way to you by the powers that be. Yeah.
Hello?
Hi.
Oh, hello, Mr. Miliband.
What's your name?
I'm Kobe.
Hi.
I've heard a lot of talk about this TTIP, like a trade deal between the EU and the US.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot that it could undermine the NHS being like a publicly funded and, publicly run, and could open it up to a lot of privatisation. Do you think these concerns are correct? And if so, would you try and block it coming through?
Is it Toby?
Kobe.
Kobe, I'm sorry.
C-O-B-Y.
Yeah. And then next to you, yeah.
Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Yeah. But earlier this year, the NHS sort of announced there was like a £30 billion shortfall in funding. I'm kind of curious how your mansion tax and the increase on the tobacco companies and various things, how are they actually going to make up that 30 billion? I'm kind of sketchy on the numbers.
Okay, let me go in reverse order then. I'll take that round and I'll take more people after that, and I'll be reasonably brief because I want to get more people in. So look, on the first thing, this is a down payment. It's 2.5 billion and it's a down payment. And look, the thing is, there are definitely big funding pressures in the NHS, and it is something the Labour government will always make a priority. I think the key thing at this election that you've got to ask is not, I mean, some other parties are promising money for later, but it's an IOU promise. In other words, they won't tell you where the money's coming from. I think what the NHS needs is money now. Because I think, actually, when I look at what's happening in the NHS and when we hear Alan's story, we need the money in now. And it will always be a priority in government. So that's why we want the 2.5 billion in, essentially, as soon as we get into office. It will be in place within the first year of a Labour government, and then we can get things going back in the right direction again. On Kobe's question about TTIP, the so-called Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership, the answer is we're going to protect the NHS from TTIP, because we can't have NHS privatisation either by the front door or the back door. And I'm absolutely committed to that, and I give you that promise. So for your question about allied health professionals is really, really important, because I know what a difference physiotherapists and others make. And look, this is part of moving towards a more integrated health and social care service. Because the reality is the future of the NHS is an integrated future, not a separated future. And that's why it's so important to repeal the Privatisation Act, essentially, the Health and Social Care Act. But that's why it's also important. These 5,000 new home care workers, I think, are interesting because they're a new arm of the NHS. And they're designed to say the NHS has an interest in ensuring that we have proper care for elderly people who are stuck in hospital, to get them out of hospital and back into their own homes. Gemma's question about childcare seems to me to be very important. I guess it's something the university takes very seriously. And look, it's something that we've got to look at, Gemma, in terms of what we can do. But it's a pressure on lots and lots of parents. We've got a plan for working parents to say we're going to expand free nursery care from 15 hours to 25 hours for all working parents with 3- and 4-year-olds. But we've definitely got to, and indeed primary school wraparound care. But we've got to look at what we can do for students, and it's an important question. Katrina, we've got no plans to change the existing. Where's Katrina who asked? We've got no plan to change the existing arrangements. I think, look, it seems to me that nurses are massively overstressed and overstretched. And, you know, when I say time to care, that seems to me to be one of the big frustrations that nurses and no doubt student nurses have, which is it feels like there just isn't time to care in the service, and that's why you've got to expand capacity. Alan, you spoke very well about your own experience. I think the thing I'd say to you is, it's this point about an NHS and an NHS hospital is only as good as the services in the community. So, you know, David Cameron likes to talk about how you've got many, many more people going to A&E, but that's not a sign of success, that's a sign of failure. Because that's a sign that people can't get the GP services, can't get the care in their own home. So it's about this integrated plan which helps people stay in their own home, helps people get to see their GP, and indeed improve services in A&E. Let me take another round. What's the situation with, oh my goodness, there's a microphone. Hi there.
Hi. How are you going to ensure that services provided...
What's your name, sir?
Michael.
Hi.
How are you going to ensure...
Fancy meeting you here, Michael.
Pardon?
What do you do here, Michael?
I'm a trainee teacher.
Excellent.
How are you going to...
That deserves a big round of applause. Come on. Now that we've met, what are you going to be teaching?
Primary school.
Excellent. Excellent. I think there are some other people who are planning that as well. Michael, over to you.
Thank you. How are you going to ensure that services that are now under the control of private companies such as Care UK are brought back under the remit of the good staff that work for the NHS, such as the audiologists and the physiotherapists, that, and let's be honest, the job that's been done by these private companies is not as good as the job that could be done by the people that work for the NHS?
Okay, good question, Michael. Is there anyone else on the balcony, on the second balcony, who wants to ask a question? No, is there anyone on the third balcony who wants to ask a question? Slightly vertigo on the third balcony. First balcony? No, okay, they're all very discreet on the first and third balcony. Right, there's a gentleman over there, just behind the, the balustrade there. At least it's good exercise for the people with the microphone.
Hello, Ed.
Hi.
I'm
What's your
Matt,
name?
and
Matt.
my son was born during the last Parliament, and he'll be 2 in October.
Oh.
Now, whilst he...
What's his name?
He's called Toby.
Excellent.
Now, after he'd been born, my fiancée was put into a ward that was built for 2 women and housed 6. Would the next Labour government sort out problems like that?
Okay, and what was your name, I'm sorry?
Matt.
Matt, okay, thanks for your question, Matt. Right, I'm going to come down to the front, and the 2 ladies in the front here.
Hi, my name's Anne-Marie Borniff. I'm a senior lecturer in nursing, so we're training the future of our NHS workforce.
How many students do you have here that you're...
We have about 450.
It sounds like you're popular.
Sorry?
It sounds like you're quite popular.
I've been Facebooking, saying I'm going to get a question to you, Ed.
Oh,
that's
good,
why.
okay.
How are you going to stop nurses leaving the NHS? Because we're training them as fast as we can, and they are leaving the NHS. How are you going to improve the efficiency of the NHS without throwing much more money into inefficient services? We need to provide an environment that's conducive for those nurses to want to stay in the NHS. What are you going to do about it?
Okay, thanks, Anne-Marie. And then the lady behind you, yeah. And then I'll take the lady behind as well.
Hi there, my name's Gabs, and
Hi,
I'm a
Gabs.
final year speech and language therapy student.
Excellent. Let's hear it for the speech and language therapist, please. Thank you.
I'm actually asking you a question on behalf of my housemate, who's a 4th-year medical student, and she's someone that would be interested in being a GP, and you say that you want to increase the numbers of GPs, but she wants to know, what are you going to do to entice people? Because at the moment, there's increase of hours, an unbelievable stress load, not being able to see as many patients as people want to, but at the same time working unbelievably long hours, and what are you going to do to entice people?
Okay, good question. Yeah, and then the lady behind you.
I'm Amelia.
Hi, Amelia. Are you studying here, Amelia?
Yeah, I study journalism.
Excellent. That deserves a round of applause, too. I don't want to offend the nice journalists I've got with us, so look, it definitely deserves a round of applause. What kind of journalism do you want to do, Amelia?
Broadcast journalism.
Excellent. Well, there's a couple of people, 3 people behind you, actually. You should definitely ask them for a job afterwards. They're very nice.
Okay.
Go on, sorry.
My mum has a severe mental illness and had to wait 4 days to be seen when experiencing a crisis. So how will you improve emergency services for those experiencing a mental health crisis?
So, Amelia, just tell me a little bit, if you don't mind, about, and thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing the story with me. What